everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm really excited to do because it is going to be a tag video. This is the Truthful YouTuber tag that was started by my friend Mel Thompson. I will have her video linked down below. She actually posted it when I was dealing with some laptop issues. My laptop died and I got super behind on videos, but all of a sudden I was getting all these messages from people asking me to do this tag and I'm like, no, what did I miss? But I was able to go back and watch Mel's video and I really like the questions that she came up with for this tag, so I definitely wanted to take it on. So if you are interested in getting my answers for the Truthful YouTuber tag, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so I just have the questions screenshotted here on my phone. So the first one is, have you ever received a product, tried it, didn't like it, and then decided not to review it? Got a product, tried it, didn't like it, decided not to review it. I don't think so. Off the top of my head, I don't think so. Because I like to, I like to review things, and I like to review things in like, not just standard review videos, but that's why I like to come up with just like fun different series, like the regret series, you know, like makeup that I regret buying and, you know, things like that. So I like to try to come up with fun ways to put a spin on reviews so that I'm still able to review products. I will say that like I've turned down a lot of sponsored videos because I've been sent items from a brand and I haven't liked it. So I've gone back to the brand to say, you know, I will not do a sponsored video because I don't like the product. And obviously a brand is not going to pay me to make like a full critiqued video of something, but you will generally see those products pop up in my videos of me saying, you know, I tried this out and I didn't like it, but I end up having to turn down a sponsored opportunity because I don't like something. So in that sort of sense I have, but I still will come back somehow to review it. 2 is product you use alone but don't show or use online. Product I use alone but don't show or use online. I don't know. That's a good question too. Let's see. I know I've done a video called like my most used makeup products off camera where I talk, you know, some of it was like limited edition stuff. I talked about like overlooked makeup products. Like a lot of times when I'm doing my makeup on camera, like sometimes I won't show or talk about like my eyeliner, sometimes even like my primer, which I think is an important step, but like primer, you know, things like that I just kind of skip over. I don't know if that actually answers the question, but that's what I thought of. Number 3 is a product you want but won't buy because you don't support the brand. Product that I want but won't buy. You know, recently I saw Kat Von D was coming out with like a Lolita 2 palette or something like that, and it's a very like mauve toned palette, and I have to say that one kind of caught my attention, but you know, Kat Von D be doing her things over here. And it's not a bad thing. I have a ton of mauve tone palettes in my collection because it's one of my favorite colors to wear, obviously. So it's like, you know, I don't need it and everything, but that's kind of the first one that popped in my head there because I remember seeing it get posted and I was like, hello. Question number 4 is, do you have any blocked words? And yeah, I sure do. A lot of my blocked words, like I have a lot of cuss words that are blocked out just because I'm not a channel that swears a lot, really, ever, unless I'm like super heated up about something. So I have a lot of like the really foul words blocked just for like people reading the comments and stuff to come across that. A lot of times, you know, it'll go to my folder and so I can review them. And if it's nothing that I think is like terrible, like I'll go ahead and pass it. But you know, if it's just like a total profanity laced comment that really has nothing to do with anything, then I'll just go ahead and not post that one. But for like actual blocked words, some of them that I feel like could make for interesting conversation here for this video. One is filter. So this happened, it was about this time last year because I remember going out that night for my friend's birthday, and we were going out tonight for this guy's same birthday. So it was about last year. All of a sudden I kept getting so many comments on my videos of, why do you use a face filter? You're so fake. You use a filter, da da da. And I'm like, what? Because I have the Sony a5100. I had been using this camera for like, I don't know, it was either 6 months or a year. Now I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was a while. I've been using that camera for a while. Like what's happening here? Like why am I all of a sudden having so many people say this, and it was just like comment after comment after comment, and I'm like, what is going on? And finally, I actually had another YouTuber text me. It's someone that I'm close with and we have each other's numbers. She texted me and said, hey, there's a Reddit forum about you and how you use a face filter. I'm going in there, I'm letting them know that, you know, it's nothing on purpose, it's just something with your camera settings that you're trying to figure out, but like, don't be alarmed if you see, you know, some really negative comments. And I'm like, okay, well, this makes a lot more sense, because like, what the heck? And I had actually talked about it before, because every once in a while I would get a comment of like, do you use a face filter because, you know, like your skin looks super smooth or whatever? And I'm like, no, I don't think so. I honestly, for the longest time, thought it was something that you actually like physically put on your camera. That's what I thought a filter was. Or that you did something in the editing process and put a filter on it. You know, that's what I thought a face filter was. And so I was like, no. And the Sony a5100 has a face filter setting, and you can do off, low, medium, and high, I think it is. And I immediately went in there and it was on low, like back when I first got the first comment, I was like, oh my gosh. And so I turned it off. I was like, oh, dodged a bullet there, like, dang. And then, you know, I would keep getting comments, but then after this Reddit forum came out, I was getting so many negative comments, but at the same time, I was also getting more subscribers, because people were coming to check out my channel, and whether they thought I had a face filter on or not, they were finding my videos and they were subscribing. So I was like, okay, this is like kind of exciting, but at the same time, I don't want people to think that I'm using a face filter, because I don't care. I'm, you know, 30 years old. I don't have the best skin ever. I'm not trying to fool people into thinking I look different. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I was asking people, you know, I was posting in forums, like, I have the Sony a5100. Can someone please help me with my settings? I think it's something in my camera, because it's nothing I'm putting on. It's nothing I'm doing in editing. Please help me. And finally, I figured it out. If you have the Sony a5100, there is a setting. Like, if I go into my settings and I click 6 buttons over, there is a setting called like face recognition, and I have to make sure the face recognition is turned off. And sometimes if I forget to turn it off, I can notice in the camera that there's a box around my face that I can see on my flip screen. There's a box, and it's like the camera's like tracking me or something, and for whatever reason, it kind of smooths everything out and makes you look not like blurred, but I mean, it does. It makes it look like you have a face filter on. I would have never have guessed it would be under face recognition. Never in a million years. So if you have the a5100 and you've had comments or issues, check out that setting, because once I turn it off, it's boom, gone. And the other one that I have blocked that I think is just really disgusting is the word racist. Racist. So when Fenty Beauty came out, right, we all knew I was going here. When Fenty Beauty came out, and one of the products that was released, you know, first or in the beginning was the foundation, and it was supposed to be a mattifying full coverage foundation. I don't really go for full coverage. I'm more medium. I have dry skin. I typically don't go for matte. And so, you know, I would say that in my videos that I don't think this foundation type is going to be the best for me. And people were seriously calling me a racist because I didn't want to purchase a foundation that I didn't think would work for my skin type, to the point where I had to block out the word racist. And that was so disgusting to me, that people will call someone a racist over not wanting to purchase makeup. And like, whenever I talked about Fenty, I was saying things like, I'm excited for the brand, and I love Rihanna, who's the creator of Fenty. Like, I think she's an amazing artist and all this stuff. I was like, there's just nothing yet. It's such a new brand. There's nothing yet that has totally called my attention that I want to go ahead and buy it. And sometimes that happens. I mean, now, like, the Fenty Uncuffed lipstick is fabulous. The Fenty Fly Liner, I just used up my sample, and I'm probably gonna purchase another one. I mean, when a brand new brand comes out, sometimes there's just things that don't call to you right away, and that's okay. It doesn't make you a racist, because that's so, like, I just keep going back to the word disgusting. It's disgusting to call someone that, because that is a and another thing about that is, I know that a lot of my family watches my videos. You know, I have a 19-year-old niece who watches my videos, and she's really into makeup. My mom watches my videos, and I have 2 nephews who are 16 and 12 right now, 12, 13. I think he's 4 personally. But I know, you know, they're really into like YouTube and gaming and stuff, and they will watch my videos. So in regards to them watching my videos, my sister, it'll be, what, 6 years ago in January, adopted a baby who is half white and who is half African American. And, you know, as he got older and everything, you know, the kids, my other niece and nephews would get questions from kids at school, you know, why does he look different? Why doesn't he look like you? You know, you know, all these questions. And so it was kind of one of those just, you know, teachable moments of how to handle things like that and why there's questions and so on. And so I'm just thinking, if my 12-year-old nephew is watching my videos and seeing in the comments that people are calling his aunt a racist, like, that was really messed up to me. And that really kind of like, I just wanted some people to explain themselves and how they got to a point of someone not wanting to buy foundation to calling them a racist. Because that's sick. Seriously. So that word had to be blocked out because I couldn't handle it. And not even for me, I just was so worried that especially my niece or my nephews would see comments like that and then have to go to their mom or my mom, their grandma, and be like, why is Aunt Sam being called a racist on the internet? Messed up. Okay. Long answer, but let's move on. Number 5, do you delete comments? If so, why? Yes, I do. I've talked about this in a past video where I view my YouTube channel as my house, and when I post a video, you're invited to my house party. Come on in. And if you are causing drama or issues, I'm gonna kick you out of my house party because I don't want that vibe in my life. So a lot of times, you know, if it's obviously like a really negative, horrible comment towards me that has nothing to do with anything, is not constructive criticism, I'll just delete it because, why bother? But especially if someone else comments on someone else's comment and is attacking them for their views, for what they want or don't want to buy or anything like that, I will delete their comment. Sometimes I will delete the entire thread if it's gotten out of hand, but I will delete the comment because I don't want anyone else coming to my house party and someone else picking a fight with them. That's not gonna happen. So yeah, if it's just a mean comment towards me, towards someone else, if it's not a helpful comment at all, I'll just delete it. Number 6 is, do you block people? I will if I have someone who just constantly is coming to my channel leaving negative comments. You know, we can see that. We can see the different comments that you're leaving in the past. A lot of times if you say something really bad, your image or your name is probably just burned into my mind anyways, because I'm like, oh my gosh, why does this person hate me so much? And so if I just see you continually commenting on videos with really nothing positive or good to say, I'll just do that like hide user or whatever, so you can actually still see my videos and you can comment on my videos, but that's never being publicly shown to me or to anybody else. So I'll do that because it's not necessary. It's not necessary to have someone who only wants to bring negative energy into your life. Just block them. Hello. Number 7 is, have you ever lied about a product to stay on good terms with the brand? No, I haven't. Like I said, I do a lot of review videos and my makeup monthlies and regret videos, and you know, I do a trying new makeup almost every single week, and I'll always come back and review them. And I just have to give my honest opinion, and I love reviewing. I started a blog 9 years ago, and the point was for me to be a reviewer, to review books, to review makeup products, to review, you know, fitness items, to review clothes, etc. I just love reviewing, but I also take my reviews very seriously, and that was something I wanted from the moment that I started my blog. And I wanted people to know, like, if she, you know, gives that product a really good review, she really means it, because, you know, like, that's how I want it to be known, and that's how I also wanted to translate that into my YouTube channel as well. I just want to be a good reviewer. Okay, so question number 8 is, have you ever initially liked a product when you reviewed it and then changed your mind but didn't let your audience know? That's definitely happened before. I am someone who, so I do a lot of like first impressions on my channel. Typically every Friday is like a trying new makeup video where I'm trying products out for the first time, maybe the second time, and I kind of give my like initial feedback at the end of the video, but I always come back and review everything. I always have my hits and misses series, my haul follow-ups, etc. So I can fully review the product after I've tried it several times, because a lot of times I'll try, you know, an eyeshadow palette once, you know, I'll try 3 shades out of there and be like, this is fantastic, this is great, and then I use it several times and I use all of the shades in there, and then I have to come back and be like, well, not so much. You know, that, I mean, that happens a lot. One that I can think of, like very specifically off the top of my head, is when Jaclyn Hill released the Morphe and Vault collection. I tried a look with each of the 4 palettes in a first impression style video, and I really liked the looks that I was doing. I didn't really have a lot of issues with all of them, so I said, you know, at the end of the video, like, so far so good. This is my first impressions, keep that in mind. But so far I really like everything, not having a lot of issues here. And then I tried all of the 4 palettes, and I put so much freaking work into trying all of these 4 palettes so I could review everything. And as time went by, I was like, oh, I don't love them as much as I thought I would. And, you know, I was finding some issues with some of them. So I came back and did my review video, and I was like, you know what? I've been trying all of these out. I've done several looks. I've tried all the shades in the palettes. This is what I think of them. Don't love them as much as I, you know, thought I would. And, you know, people would comment and be like, well, in your other video, you said that you really liked them. So why did you change your mind? Is it because they, you know, the launch got pushed back or whatever? And I'm like, no, but you can think that if you want. Like, it's a first impression video. This is a review video. They're completely different things. So that's why I always make sure to do my follow-ups to my first impressions and also to my hauls, because I think it's interesting to see how your hauls worked out for you. But I always do a follow-up full review on my first impressions. Okay, so number 9 is an influencer you don't trust. Mel, you getting saucy. An influencer I don't trust. One, for me, this was kind of a bummer because I felt like I found this person's channel, started to get into it. I was like, yes, things are going well. I really like this person's, you know, personality and the way they do their videos, and I like their makeup and etc. And then it was like really quickly into me finding her channel that I was like, I just don't know if I can trust everything that she's saying. And I feel really weird like giving out names, but Nicole Concilio, like, I just started to get a really weird vibe. And I had, like I said, I had just recently found her channel and I was super excited about it. But then it just seemed, I don't know, like her reviews were just, I wasn't really quite sure what was going on. So I ended up stopping watching her videos, which I was bummed about. I get bummed whenever I don't trust anybody, okay? That's sad, but I'll just name one and move on from there, okay? Number 10 is an influencer you trust the most. Honestly, this question's super hard because that's who I watch. Like, influencer I don't trust is kind of hard for me to answer because if I don't trust somebody, I just don't watch their videos and move on. Exactly like what I did with the example that I mentioned. If I enjoy someone and I trust their reviews, etc., like, that's who I watch. So, I mean, of course, Mel, she was so sweet that she actually mentioned me for this question in her video, which excited me so much. Andrea Matiliano. I love her channel and she posts so much and she always gives just really good reviews, and she kind of reminds me of myself where, like, we can give negative or critiqued reviews without being like super over the top, hateful, bashful, you know, things like that. We can just give it to you straight and, you know, tell you how we're feeling. And also my friend Ashley Clady, she's another one of just like my favorite channels, and she, again, I feel like she's, you know, can be similar to me with just kind of like a positive attitude, and if something doesn't work, we can say why it doesn't work and maybe who we think that it could work for, and then just kind of move on from there. So I always get really excited to see her reviews. She does a lot of like haul follow-ups too, and like, you know, first impression follow-ups, which I appreciate. And I think that's one thing too, you know, and especially I know Andrea does this as well, to come back and give us reviews and follow-ups and all of that, because it's just so helpful to know when someone's really been trying something out and can really test it out. With Mel's videos, she does a lot of like tutorials and like really gets in there and plays with the palettes and plays with the shades and plays with the colors, and she's a beautiful makeup artist. I mean, she can create some amazing looks. So I just always feel like they're really putting in the time and the energy to review something for us. So that's just 3 that I'll name, but honestly, like, I just, you know, people that I trust, those are who I watch. That is who my watch later list is filled with. That's whose videos I'm trying to click on right away. So those are just some that I will throw out there. Number 11 is secret tips or product application you don't show while on camera. I don't think I have any secret tips. Do I have any secret tips? I spray, okay, no, I got one. I spray my face a lot with makeup spray, and I almost never show it online because I don't think about it. It's just one of those steps that I just, for whatever reason, I don't think about a lot. Like, I'll get done doing, you know, a first impression trying new makeup video, and I'll be like, okay, bye, and then, you know, try to pose and stuff, you know? And then I will shut the camera off, like I'll take my pictures and I'll be like, oh, my setting spray, and I'll spray it. I'm like, why do you not show this in videos? I never do it because I just forget about it. But a lot of times if I'm just sitting here doing my makeup and I'm not on camera, like I will do primer, foundation, concealer, powder, my under eyes and my face, spray my face. I will do contour, bronzer, blush, spray my face. I will do highlight, spray my face. Like I spray my face a lot. But you probably wouldn't know that because I barely ever do it on camera for whatever reason. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. Number 12 is, have you ever showed one product but we're actually using another? I remember when Mel asked this question, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, but your brain starts going like, have I ever done that? And I couldn't think of a time where I ever did. Number 13 is, have you ever not disclosed a sponsorship? And no, I'm always super, like, my thing with sponsorships is that I'm always super freaking jazzed about them, that I don't know why people hide them, because I think it's an awesome thing and I don't ever want to feel like I shouldn't be excited to take a sponsorship, to have a brand want to work with me. That's amazing. So whenever I do a sponsored video, I say it within usually like the first 30 seconds, if at least not 1 minute of a video. You know, my intro is, hey everyone, thank you for watching today's video, da da da. I will typically say what today's video is, and then I will say, and today's video is sponsored by. So I don't even go to like my next clip, you know, like let's go ahead and get started. We move over to the next clip and then I'm like, oh, by the way, this video is sponsored. I say it right away. I have it in the very bottom of my description box, the very last line. I do that because I feel like it's really easy for people to go and look. You're not trying to go through everything else in the description and product links. Boom, go right down to the bottom. You will see this video is not sponsored, or this video was sponsored by. I always include it. Even if it's not sponsored, I will say that just so there's no questions. I also started to move that up to the very top of the line. You know, I'll have the title in there, and that's just for like SEO and things like that and the algorithm. So I'll have the title in there, and then I typically have a little paragraph of like what the video is about, and then I will put right under there, this video is sponsored by, so it's in 2 spots in my description box. And then I also now hashtags, if you put a hashtag close to the top of your description box, it will take those 3 hashtags and actually put them in the title of your YouTube video. I will also put hashtag sponsored. So right when you click on the video, before you even see me saying anything, before you can read my description box, it's boom right there in the title. So I say it, I have it listed 2 times in my description box, and I have the hashtag in the title. I try to be as transparent as I can about that because, you know what? I think it's a really cool thing, and I don't think that I should have to ever be ashamed or embarrassed to take a sponsorship, because I take sponsorships that I'm excited for. Like I mentioned in the first question, I also turn down sponsorships. I think some people think that a YouTuber, especially one who does do sponsored videos, will take anything and everything thrown their way, and that's simply not the case, because I've turned down plenty of them that, you know, wouldn't get me excited, that the products don't work for me or whatever it may be. But I should be excited about sponsorships, and hopefully you see that when I do make my sponsored videos. Okay, so question number 14 is, have you ever had a bad interaction with a brand? I've had brands in the past, like when it comes to sponsored videos, you know, everything is negotiable. I mean, pretty much in life. But when you know, get approached by a brand or like a PR firm or something like that, you can negotiate your rate and everything. And I've had a couple brands like come back to me and say they don't think I'm worth it. Like in that, not like, oh, you know, maybe your engagement isn't at that level, but it's at this level. I've had brands straight up come back to me and say, you're not worth that. And I feel like that's kind of a weird thing, and maybe that's just me being like a sensitive Sally, but I'm just kind of like, ew, I don't know, maybe you could have worded that better. So I don't know, that's happened before. But other than that, I don't think I've had a lot of super bad interactions. Like I said, I've had to turn down sponsorships where, you know, I've agreed to test out a product and to be able to, you know, share it in a sponsored video, and I've had to come back and say no. And I haven't really had a whole lot of like, well, you did it wrong, or you don't know what you're doing, or, you know, things like that. I haven't really had a lot of those types of interactions, which I'm very glad about. Don't get me wrong. But I think that's the one that pops out in my head the most, because I feel like that's not a great way to tell someone, that's not a great way to like negotiate with someone. Like, okay, we don't want to pay you that, but we'll pay you this, but by doing so, we're going to tell you you're not worth it. I don't know. That just... 15, have you ever bandwagoned with other people's thoughts on a particular product? I don't think so, and I try really hard not to. A lot of times when I film for my Will I Buy It videos on Wednesdays, I will try not to read comments on, like, if Trend Mood post it. I try not to read other people's comments because I can be like, oh yeah, no, what they're saying does make sense actually, or okay, I see a lot of people are not feeling this product. I think that I've gotten better and I'm kind of more in my own right now, and I know my preferences, I know my collection, I know what I like to buy. But especially, you know, a while ago when I was doing these videos, I really tried not to look at those comments because I thought it could influence me. I mean, I'm the type of person that if I read too much like British chick lit, I all of a sudden have an accent. I mean, it's just like, whoa, and I'm going around the house like, oh well, bloody hell, what happened here? Like, and I'm like, where is this coming from? Why am I doing that? Don't read too many British chick lit books because it changes me, okay? So I try not to read too many comments to get influenced by it. Like I said, I think now I'm pretty confident in what I want, what I need, what I'll put my money towards, so it's not a huge thing anymore. Number 16 is things other creators do that get on your nerves. When I was thinking about this question, I mean, this one was the first one that popped into my mind, and I just hate to sound like, sometimes I don't like the videos about like why beauty bloggers suck and what beauty bloggers do that I hate, because there's always something in those videos that I do that it just makes me feel very conscious about myself and like, oh my gosh, other people don't like me because I do that, you know, things like that. So I tried, like when I was thinking about this question, I was trying to think of the best way that I could word this, but for me, honestly, something that makes me sad is when I see other creators just constantly talk about their sub count, just constantly talk about it, because it makes me feel like, do you like what you're doing? Do you enjoy doing this? Because at some point the numbers are important, and I don't want to say that they're not. It's great to see growth because that means that you're probably on the right track. People are enjoying your videos. People are finding you trustworthy. People are recommending you, which is a huge, validation of how much people do enjoy you. And that's great. But if you are only staring at your numbers, especially your subscriber count, I just have to wonder, do you like what you're doing? Or are you, like, why are you so focused on that part? Also, like in videos where people have to spend 5 minutes telling you to subscribe and turn the bell on and telling you where to subscribe and like pointing it out on the screen and then having the bell emoji with the dinging at the same time and then explaining everything, and then it's just like, that's just a lot happening. I think that's the one that I'm gonna mention for right now, mostly just because it makes me sad. But other than that, that is going to wrap it up. Let me double check. I think that was the last question. Yes, that was the last question. There was a 16 questions total, and that is going to wrap it up for the Truthful YouTuber tag. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Again, make sure to check out Mel's just channel in general if you haven't yet, but check out her video if you haven't. I hope that you enjoyed seeing it. Maybe you learned something new, or I don't know, took something away from this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope that you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.